So that I think that would definitely tie into BDD. So maybe for those who aren't familiar, just a quick overview of what is BDD and maybe what's covered in that class and why that might matter for what you're just now talking about, right?
Yeah, and you've been saying BDD without defining it, so let's start there with its behavior-driven development as opposed to test-driven development. And the simplest way to think about it is test-driven development is really focused on the code and what the developer's doing interacting with the system. But what we found as developers is that the business folks didn't want to look at code, didn't really understand the code. So we wanted to talk about them, the behavior of the system in an automated, testable way. And that's what behavior-driven development came about from, is that we can specify how is the system going to behave. We can run that as automated tests and get the feedback, yeah, the system's working, or, this behavior is broken.
And I love that because for me, unit test is like it is doing what I asked it to without errors or problems. Is that what
Yeah.
the client wants? Now that's where
Mhm.
we're looking at BDD, right? So
Yeah, and another distinction there is that the unit tests tend to be focused more on the smaller internals, and the
okay,
BDD, almost by its nature, is coming from the outside, testing the integration of the entire system.
nice. So it seems like obviously both are very helpful,
Yeah.
and especially if we're doing things, we're speeding it up.
Hmm.
I know when we were going through a recent example mobbing, I think it might have been just this week, but it's so good because it did create some code for us. And then your first response is, let's take a look and walk through the code and
Yeah.
see what it gave us and make sense of that. What is a very powerful tool. But to your point, do you understand what it is and what it's doing? There might be another way that teams are checking that.
Yeah, and I think that's what we've got to watch out for is that the code it's generating is based on code that's out there. And we know there's good code, we know there's bad code, we know there's malicious code.
Yeah.
So just because on the surface it looks like it's doing the right thing, we've still got to watch out for, is it pinging back home and sending out, little nuggets of information that we don't want escaping?
Right, right. Um, I'm gonna take that point in particular when it's going to give us something that looks correct or structured correct. In the same way, ChatGPT might give us an answer that sounds very intelligent. You'd made a point earlier, like, but it's actually not, right? So
Yeah.
giving us something to your point, who knows where it's pulling it from, but it's going to maybe look clean, structured, who knows, but is it actually running and performing the way people want it? Seems to be a concern that you're having.
Yeah. And I mean, it's all based on probabilistic things that it's interpreted as it's scoured the world to come up with its databases of when I say that I want to go to the pet store and
Mm.
it's like I want to go to the pet store and, buy pet supplies or take my dog in for grooming. It's not like I want to go to the pet store and get an oil change.
Yes.
But that could crop up maybe, and it doesn't know. It's just going based on what's likely to occur as each token is interpreted.
Yeah. It brings back the memories of the glue pizza.
Or how many rocks are helpful.